Most men grow up thinking that getting with a lot of women means they have finally won, that every new notch on the belt is proof they are valuable, respected, and powerful. They think the attention from women is the trophy. But what they don't see is that the real reward is understanding women, understanding their nature on a level so deep that you stop needing to chase them at all. It took me years of dating up, getting ghosted, getting attention, losing it, and seeing the patterns repeat themselves to realize that women aren't the prize. Mastery of yourself and the way you relate to women is. I saw the same cycle over and over. Guys chasing validation, getting stuck in situationships, thinking if they just said the right thing, bought the right gifts, or looked the right way, she would finally stay and give him that feeling he's searching for. What I learned was that attraction isn't random, and it's not about how rich you are or how many lines you know. It's about the energy you bring into the room. The way your presence makes her feel something she can't logically explain or control. That energy either grounds her or confuses her, either draws her in or pushes her away without a single word spoken. I spent years trying to talk women into liking me, explaining how good of a man I was, listing out how I would treat her right, thinking that logic and explanation could create desire. But it never worked. And the more I tried to convince, the less she felt. It wasn't until I let go of the need to explain myself and started focusing on how I made her feel when she was around me, on the emotions she felt in my presence, that everything changed. When you learn this, you stop begging for attention, and you start choosing which energy you allow around you, and that's when you truly start winning. High interest is always obvious once you understand how women operate, and I wish I had learned this earlier. I spent countless days overthinking texts, replaying conversations in my head, analyzing every emoji, every delay in her replies, wondering if she liked me, if she was busy, or if I said something wrong. The truth is, if you are constantly guessing how she feels about you, she doesn't feel strongly enough. When a woman is genuinely interested, she makes it known, not through complicated hints, but through her actions and her energy. She will text first. She will send you memes. She will find excuses to see you. She will flirt and laugh and lean in closer because high interest is loud, not quiet. I learned that I was wasting my time trying to decode signals from women who were only halfway there while ignoring the ones who were actually showing up. Real attraction moves in a straight line. It does not spiral into circles of confusion. If she is into you, you will know. You will feel it in the way she lights up around you, in the way she tries to be part of your life, without you having to force it. The moment I realized this, I stopped trying to prove myself to women who weren't sure, and I started valuing my time and my energy. When things start to feel inconsistent, when she goes hot and cold, when her actions don't match her words, that's your sign to pull back, to stop investing in a one-sided dynamic that only drains you and keeps you chasing. High interest from a woman feels easy. It feels open. It feels like she is meeting you halfway without you needing to drag her there. When you start recognizing this, you begin to filter out the noise and focus only on women who genuinely want to be there, who choose you without hesitation, and that alone changes how you move forever. One of the hardest truths I learned is that female loyalty is emotional, logical, and most men don't see it until it's too late. You can be the man who shows up every day, who provides, who protects, who never cheats, who does everything society says a good man should do, and still lose her if she no longer feels emotionally connected to you. It's not about her being ungrateful or cruel. It's about how women are wired. They are tied to the way you make them feel, and if that feeling dies, the bond dies with it. no matter how much you have done for her. I used to think that if I just kept doing the right things, she would stay, that loyalty came from ticking boxes, from being dependable, from never messing up. But women are not loyal to duty. They are loyal to the emotions you stir in them. If she doesn't feel desired, if she doesn't feel seen, if she doesn't feel the tension and spark that remind her she is alive around you, she will start to drift, even if you did nothing wrong. I've seen guys blindsided by this, confused, because they were doing everything right, while another man who made her feel alive captured her attention. It taught me that you can't get comfortable in a connection with a woman just because you think you've earned her loyalty. You have to keep the emotional bond alive, keep the polarity present, keep the moments of play, tension, and groundedness alive, or else the relationship becomes a dry routine. This doesn't mean you need to live in fear or constant performance. It means you need to understand that if you want her to stay, you must keep making her feel, not just providing and existing next to her. If you cannot keep the connection alive, it is better to let her go before it crumbles, because forcing her to stay when the emotional bond is dead will only drain both of you, leaving you bitter and lost, wondering what went wrong when you thought you did everything right. The strongest frame always wins, and this is one of the most powerful lessons I learned when it comes to women and life. In every dynamic with a woman, someone is leading the energy, even if it's subtle, even if no one is saying it out loud. Early on, I didn't understand this, and I would slip into seeking her approval without realizing it. I would adjust my words, laugh at things I didn't find funny, agree with her to avoid conflict, and slowly, I would lose that edge, that quiet power that initially attracted her. The moment you give up your frame, even in small ways, she feels it, and the polarity begins to fade. A man who holds the frame doesn't need to be loud or aggressive. He doesn't need to flex or prove himself because his energy is centered. He is not seeking her validation. He is inviting her into his world without forcing her. When she tests him with attitude, silence, or small provocations, he doesn't react emotionally or try to fix her feelings. He stays calm, and that calmness becomes the anchor she leans into without even realizing it. I learned that women will test your frame, not because they are cruel, but because they want to feel that you are unshakable, that your emotional state is not dependent on theirs. The moment she feels that her reactions control you, her respect and attraction start to erode. She needs to feel that you are steady, that your world doesn't collapse if she has a mood swing or challenges your boundaries. This silent, grounded control is what women melt into, because it makes them feel safe to relax into their femininity. They want to be led by a man who leads himself first, who can hold the storm without becoming the storm. Holding your frame calmly and confidently doesn't mean you become cold. It means you stand in your power, detached from needing her to feel good about yourself. And in that space, she feels the freedom to surrender, to trust, and to open up to you fully. Masculine calmness creates feminine submission, and most men overlook how powerful this is because they are too focused on trying to impress her with words, achievements, or constant validation. Women are emotional by nature, and that is not something to resent, but something to understand and embrace, because their nervous system is scanning every moment for grounding. When you are reactive, getting jealous over small things, arguing to prove your point, or seeking constant reassurance, you create an environment where she feels she has to be on guard, where she cannot relax or trust you to lead. I learned that the moments when she starts to truly submit, to soften, to let down her guard, are not when you shower her with gifts or say the perfect line, but when she feels your stillness. When you can sit there, unbothered, while she processes her emotions, while she moves through her waves, and you remain rooted in your calm masculine energy, she feels safe. It is safety that allows her to drop deeper into her femininity, to let go of her need to control, and to trust you without fear. When you are calm and unshaken, smiling even in the middle of her storm, it shows her that you are not afraid of her emotions, that you are not afraid of her tests, that you will not lose yourself in the chaos. I noticed that the calmer I became, the more she leaned in, the more she sought closeness, the more she started respecting my lead without me demanding it. This doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. It means you enforce your boundaries calmly without letting anger or insecurity control your tone. It means you keep your heart open but your standards firm. She finds her freedom in your grounded presence. And this is how the polarity strengthens naturally. When you stop being reactive and learn to breathe through the tension, you become the man she feels she can trust and follow because your energy tells her she is safe, seen, and led without force.